ओम सदाशिवसमारंभां शंकराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। So we were looking at the Maitreyi Brahmanam, where Yajnavalkya is trying to show how this Atma alone is there as everything. So how can we teach this particular Atma is everything? For that, the Karana Karya Prakriya, you can say, is used in one way, or we can say that by establishing Atma as the Upadana Karana for all the Nama Rupa which we are seeing here. Now, in this context, Upanishad itself is giving certain analogies, like the sound of the Dundubhi. Dundubhi is a type of drum, or Shankha, which is conch, or Veena. So, Dundubhi is a beating instrument, Shankha is a blowing instrument, and Veena is a plucking or a stringed instrument. So, one type of instrument in each category, you can say. Now, why this analogy is given? Only to establish that without cognizing the samanya, okay, or the general, you cannot cognize the particular. Therefore, the general is the upadana. The general is the one which is sustaining the particular cognitions. In fact, Bhashyakara beautifully gave a note about this here. You can see, yat swarupa vyatirekena agrahanam yasya tasya tad atmatvam eva loke drishtam. So he is giving this yasya yat yasya. You can take this yasya first so that it is easier. Yat swarupa vyatirekena agrahanam. So that which is not cognized without cognizing a swarupa, its own swarupa. So if we bring our famous pot clay example here, you cannot cognize a clay pot without cognizing the clay. Correct? If you are not cognizing the clay, you cannot also not cognize the pot. Or you cannot cognize the pot. I think I should not use another not there. So that means clay is the swarupa of pot. And clay's atma is, the pot's atma is clay. Tad atmatvam eva. Clay is the atma of pot. It is the very self, it is the upadana. It is the material, very material, which is appearing as a pot. So this is what Bhashyakara is giving here in the context of cognition. You cannot cognize one thing without cognizing the other thing also there. In fact, if that is the case, then one becomes the Atma or the Swarupa of the other or the Upadana of the other. This he showed here. One becomes the essence of the other also, we can say. Now, in this context only, keeping this in mind, it is saying that all sounds of drum are nothing but sound, correct? One level, if you take, everything is only sound. Or you can say it is Dundubi sound, special drum sound also. There is something called a drum sound, correct? Or it depends on how you play the drum also. If you play it in a certain way also, then a certain type of sound can come. But within that also you can have variations. I told you already. If you take the tala, there are different types of talas are there. Adi tala, Rupaka tala and all that. But unless you hear the sound itself or the sound of the drum or the particular way of playing the drum, whatever, you cannot get into details like tala, etc. So let us say I do not have the ability to hear a certain frequency. That happens to many people, correct? As you grow older, of course, you require hearing aid and all that. But even human beings, the range of hearing is, we say that between 20 and 20,000 and all that, correct? You must have heard that. But dogs can hear much more frequency than us. So whatever the dog is hearing, maybe it is hearing more. We will never know unless we have dogs here, I think. Like that, if a person is not able to hear a particular sound at all, for him there is no tala also, correct? You cannot talk to him when that sound is coming, whether you cannot ask him whether, can you tell me whether this is Adi tala or Rupaka tala? You cannot ask that. Or if a person is not able to hear the shankha, you cannot ask anything specific about the shankha or the veena nada, the sound of the veena or the shankha. You cannot ask him, if he is not even hearing the veena, you cannot ask him whether it is Mohanam or some other raga, Hindolam. Okay. So from all these three examples we already saw last week, what is being pointed out is that all that is here is Atma. Correct? To show that only, in fact, different examples are given. These three examples are showing that Atma is the Sthiti Karanam for the entire Srishti. Okay, because you cannot perceive anything without the Atma Chaitanyam associated with that. In fact, if you read the brilliant Bhashya which Bhashyakara has written for the Nasato Vidyate Bhavaha Na Bhavo Vidyate Sataha, that Bhagavad Gita verse, I think it is 2:16. There Bhashyakara gives beautifully that the aspect of cognition never varies. Pujya Swamiji also used to say always, whenever you cognize anything, that consciousness is, correct. So you cognize an apple, apple consciousness is. You cognize an orange, orange consciousness is. You cognize a table, table consciousness is. Like this, you can keep on going. Consciousness is, consciousness is, consciousness is the invariable in every cognition. In fact, we miss it. That is the, because of that very reason, I think we miss it. And we are all very interested in knowing the whatever apple, orange, etc. But without the consciousness is, the specific cognitions are not at all possible. That means everything that is here is only consciousness is, and there is only one consciousness is, which is your Atma. So that is the teaching. So now to that consciousness is also we can apply this same thing which Bhashyakara gives here, correct? Yet Swarupa Vyatirekena Agrahanam Yasya. In any cognition, you have to have this consciousness is, correct. Without the consciousness is, you cannot cognize anything. So consciousness is the Swarupa, is the Atma. It is the very Upadana of every cognition. Whatever you cognize, in every cognition, consciousness is the common, Samanya. So that is the Upadana, that is the Sthiti Karanam. So that is very clear. That is what? Giving these three Upanishad is trying to show you, or Yajnavalkya is trying to teach Maitreyi that all that is here, for that the Sthiti Karanam is nothing but Atma. Now in this context, Bhashyakara also says why 3 examples are given here. Okay. So he is giving some Bhashya for that. Aneka drishtanta upadanam iha samanya bahutva kyapanartham. So samanya bahutvam is there. The commonalities only are many, correct? There you can say there is a dundubi sound, there is a veena sound, there is a shankha sound, okay, kan sound. All these sounds are there, but all of them are in the end only sound, correct? If you are not able to hear any sound, then you cannot cognize, you can neither cognize the tala nor the raga. Okay, so everything is sound, and from there only all these specific sounds are there. Even more specific sounds are there, like that we can go. So at one level, this samanya, if you say, or even within the world, there are many categories of things. Samanya can be considered as a category or a species. Jati is called samanya, correct? So a particular category means there are many categories. Categories themselves are many. But all of them finally are there only in one category, which is Chaitanya. Chaitanyam alone is appearing as all these things. This I said even modern science also is veering towards that, because when they break down and try to find out the fundamental building blocks, they are also, they have to postulate an observer, but that nature of that observer is not very clear to them anyway. But they are also, at least, or they are talking about a singularity and all that before the Big Bang. What is that singularity? I don't think they know very much. Anyway, so here there are categories, and then there are super categories, you can say, or there is a super category from which everything is inheriting. Even if you are doing some object oriented programming, everything is an object. Then you derive many classes from that, like that. So to show that only, Bhashyakara is saying 3 different here analogies are given. Anekehi vilakshanaha chetana achetana rupaha samanya visheshaha. So within the Srishti itself, you have many samanyas are there, many categories are there, you can say, like sentient, insentient, etc. Okay, so here, but all of them are anyway coming from one super category. So that's what he says here. Tesham paramparya gatya yatha ekasmin mahasamanya. So he is using the word mahasamanya. Like I said, super category. Bhashyakara is saying mahasamanya ekasmin. From one super category only, they all belong to that one super category. He says antarbhavaha. And what is that? Prajnana ghane. So that super category is nothing but consciousness. Prajnana ghana means consciousness which is homogeneous, you can say, which is not having any variation within itself. It is one mass. That's all. Correct. Dense. Ghana means dense also, we can say, but I think more than dense here, the ghana points out to homogeneity. There is no differentiation within the consciousness itself. That is why the ghana word is important here. So everything is from one prajnana ghana only. They all belong to that one super category or mahasamanya. And how do we show that? Kathan nama pradarshayitavyaha iti. So when there are many categories, and then but all of these categories or samanyas are coming from one super category or mahasamanya, how to show that? That is what the Upanishad is doing here. So he shows like this: Dundubi, Shanka, Veena, Shabda, Samanya, Visheshanam, Yata, Shabdatve, Antarbhavaha. So like even the drum sound, conch sound, Veena sound, all of them, they themselves can be categories, because from there further specific talas, ragas, etc. and all can come out. but still all of them are part of the same set called Shabdatva, Shabda, sound. Okay, they all belong to the same category called sound, or you can consider here as set and superset also. Whichever terminology you use in English, it is fine. So basically, all of them belong to the category of sound. Correct? Like that, by giving three analogies, what Yajnavalkya is showing is there can be n number of categories in this Srishti, but all of them are from the belong to the same superset or super category. Therefore, or all of them are sustained. All the specifics are sustained by that super category alone, which alone really exists in fact. So the sthiti part is explained here, because to show that Brahma Satyam, Jagan Mithya, let us say, correct, or all that is here is Atma, you have to show that all that is here is sustained by Atma, it is created from Atma, it resolves back into Atma, correct? Shishti, Sthiti, Laya, Karana is this Atma alone for everything that is there here. Now to show that this particular portion, three of these analogies are for Sthiti. So, evam Sthiti Kale Tavat Samanya Vishesha Avyatirekat Brahma Ekatvam Shakyam Avagantum. So what Bhashyakara is saying, in this manner, like even in these analogies, everything is only sound. Similarly, whatever is there here, which you are perceiving during the Sthiti Kala, when the creation is there, correct? All that is nothing but Brahman alone. There is only one Brahman. So you can understand that. So that is why this analogy is given. So this analogy itself is part of the Manana Grantha. I already told you. Shravanam is the sixth Vakya here is Shravanam, we can say. Correct? Idam Sarvam Yadayam Atma is really the Shravana part. Then these three are all Manana. In fact, continuing also it will be Manana only. 10, 11, 12 are all also different analogies are given. But the first three Vakyas, these analogies are establishing that this entire world during its Sthiti Kala, during the time it is there manifest, it is nothing but one Brahman alone, this Atma alone. Okay. So that because you cannot know this other than Brahman, because Brahman is Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, correct? Satyam Jnanam is Brahma. That is what we say consciousness is. In every cognition, consciousness is the invariable, and that is Brahman. Without that, you cannot know anything. Any name and form cannot be known. Therefore, everything is Brahman alone. We can understand that. Then further, now this again is a very, very highly quoted Vakya. In fact, the Brahma Sutra, the third Brahma Sutra is from this mantra or this Vakya. Correct? The Shastra Yonitvat, there is a Brahma Sutra is there. That is also based. This, in fact, this mantra will be discussed in that Shastra Yonitvat. Maybe whenever we go to Brahma Sutra, we can see that, I think. Let us see. Now here, Sayata Ardraidhagnehe, okay, Abhyahitat Pritag Dhumaha Vinischaranti Evam Vare Asya Mahataha Bhutasya Nishwasitam Yetad Yet Rigvedaha Yajurvedaha Samavedaha Atharvangirasaha Itihasaha Puranam Vidya Upanishadaha Shlokaha Sutrani Vyakyanani Asya Eva Yetani Nishvasitani. So here till the last three were about the Sthiti I told you. Now this is about Srishti. So now Yajnavalkya is saying Srishti also is from this Brahman only. Yeah, even before Srishti also it was all only Brahman. Potentially it was there in Brahman. During Srishti it becomes manifest. Correct? This we saw even in Ghata Bhashya, if you remember, huge argument was there to understand what is Karana, Karya, how Karyas manifest, etc. We saw already. In that we saw that Karya is always there potentially in the Karana. Now here, an interesting analogy is given of firewood and whatever comes out of it when you set it on fire. Okay. So firewood, ardra yedhaha. Okay. So yedhaha means fuel or whatever. Firewood is called yedha. Then ardraidhagnehe is one compound. Okay. So ardraihi yedhobihi addaha agnihi, like that Bhashyakara gives the vigraha, means the fire which is produced or kindled from wet firewood. Okay. Now why wet firewood? Because if you burn the wet firewood or wood which is not dried properly, then it will give you all sorts of things. Smoke will be there. Even smoke itself, different types of smoke will come. And then sparks can come. And then the embers also can be there. Once it is burnt, that whatever wood charcoal and the embers will be there. And then flame also will be there when it is burning. All these different things are there, but all of them are nothing but the potential fire which is there in the firewood. Correct? Fire alone is coming out as all these different things. Similarly, from this Brahman, okay, so many things are coming out. But here, interestingly, Yajnavalkya is talking about Veda coming out of Brahman. Okay. So that is why Brahman is Shastra Yonihi, Shastrasya Yonihi. Okay. The source of all the Veda, all the Shastra is this Brahman. But why Veda is talked about means, but even if Veda alone is talked about, we have to take all the other things also as being produced or created from this Brahman. Because the words, Veda means here we have to take it as Shabda, words. And word means meaning also has to come. Correct? There is no word without meaning. If you say word, there has to be a meaning. Otherwise, it is only some unintelligible sound, correct, or a noise. As soon as it becomes a word, the Shabda cannot be there without the Artha. Vagartha viva sampriktau. Even Kalidasa says that, correct? Parvati and Parameshwara are like word and its meaning inseparable. So even though here Yajnavalkya or the Upanishad is talking about the Srishti of the Veda Shabda means then Shabda Artha also is included in that. Therefore, the entire Srishti is included along with the Shabda and Artha. That is the idea. So all of them have come from this Brahman alone. Okay, in this context, one more analogy also is used here. What is that? Vishwasitam. Okay, it is like breathing for this Brahman, bringing out all these Vedas and this entire Srishti is like breathing. Of course, breathing of a healthy individual we have to take. Okay, because breathing means here effortlessness is coming into the picture. There is no effort for Paramatma. The Srishti is not like I have to create. No, there is no effort. It's effortless, like even breathing. Normally, we don't even notice our own breath. Correct? How many times you are breathing in a day? You won't even know that. because breathing is not even conscious. It is an unconscious or a subconscious activity. It goes on unless you are having some asthma or some problem, some blocked nose and all that, then only you notice your own breathing. Otherwise, it is an effortless activity. Like that, here for Paramatma, the creation itself is effortless. Also, breathing can also point out to another interesting fact. Okay, what is that? Breathing is a cycle, correct? Whatever you breathe in, you breathe out. Again, you breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. It is an endless cycle, at least till your body is alive. And then that Sukshma Sharira goes to another physical body. Again, it continues, breathe in, breathe out, and all that. If you look at it that way, it keeps on going. So, like that, this Srishti also is a cycle, manifest, unmanifest, manifest, unmanifest. That means the Veda is always there potentially, and then it is manifest. So even Ishvara did not create Veda from nothing. That concept is not all there for us. Understand? Everything is always there potentially anyway. Therefore, the potential Veda is manifested by Ishvara during every cycle of creation at the beginning of creation. And then along with the Veda means all the Shabda and their Artha also is manifested. That is the idea here. So here interesting thing. So let us see here. Pritak Dhumaha Vinischaranti. So from the firewood which is wet, when you are kindling it, fire, then different types of smoke. That's how the Upanishad is saying. But Bhashyakara says when it says different type of smoke means we have to also include sparks, Vispulinga, and embers and flame, etc. and all. He says Archish and all that. We'll see that. So from the same fire which is potentially present in the firewood, all these different things come out. Similarly, evam, in this manner, Are Maitreyi, oh dear Maitreyi, Asya Mahataha Bhutasya. So this great Bhuta means here Paramatma. Okay. Mahataha Bhutasya Nishvasitam. It is all like a breath for this Nishvasitam, even Nishvasitam, as though it is breathing like that. This entire thing, along with its breath, has come out. The entire Rig Veda, okay, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharvangirasaha. Now, these four things, Bhashyakara takes it as the mantra portion of these four Vedas only. Okay. Because 8 more things also is said here. Like Itihasaha. Now, Itihasa means normally we know it as Ramayana and Mahabharata. But here in the Veda, Itihasa is not Ramayana, Mahabharata. Because here it is talking about the Apaurushaya Shabda. Correct? Shabda which has come from Paramatma, not from Vyasa or Valmiki. Therefore, the Itihasa here refers to the Brahmana portion. Whatever stories which are said in the Brahmana portion of the Veda is called Itihasa here. So Bhashyakara is going to say there is even in the Shatapatha Brahmana, there is a Urvashi Pururava story is there. Okay. So that is all Itihasa. Then Puranam. Puranam also is not this Ashtadasha Purana and all that. No. That is again Paurushayam, Smriti only. But here this is all portion of the Shruti itself is talked about, which has come from the Paramatma as Apaurushaya. Purana means anything which talks about Srishti in the Brahmana is called a Purana because Srishti happened long back. Okay. Now we are in Vaivasvata Manvantara, and which Brahma we don't know. Each Brahma is having, so our idea of Srishti is very, very cosmological. Correct? The numbers are all huge. So Purana means all the statements which are talking about Srishti in the Brahmana, like even Asadva, Idam Agre, Asit, Tato Vai Sadajayata, like that, and all it is there in Taittiriya also. So that is all Purana, Bhashyakara says. Then Vidya means all the arts. So all the arts which the Devas know, like that Veda itself refers to the Vidya, Deva Jana Vidya, like that Bhashyakara will say. So all the Vidya which the Devas, etc., all these divine beings they know, that is called Vidya here. Upanishadaha. Again, Upanishad means not this Brihadaranyaka Upanishad or Taittiriya Upanishad and all that. Upanishad we know is already we had all this Satyasya Satyam and all that, correct? That is all Upanishad. In fact, Bhashyakara will give another example for that. We will see that. But it is all secret code word or secret word is called Upanishad. Then Shlokaha. Now the mantras which are quoted in the Brahmana are called Shlokaha. In fact, if you remember Taittiriya Upanishad, Tadapyesha Shloko Bhavati, like that it will be there, correct? Then it will quote. Even in Brihadaranyaka also we have seen like that, Tadapyesha Shloko Bhavati. So, in this context, this shloka is there, like that the Brahmana itself will quote the shloka, means some mantra portion, and then it will even give explanation. We will come to that. Then Sutrani means all, again here Brahma Sutra and all you cannot take. So here Sutrani means whatever the Upanishad itself is giving you in a very concise, summarized or whatever cryptic manner. Now in our case, we have even in the Brihadaranyaka itself, we have studied Vidya Sutram, Avidya Sutram and all that, correct? Atma Ityeva Upasita is the Vidya Sutram. So that is Sutrani. Then Anubhyakhyanani means all the explanations which are given for the sutras. Whatever has been concisely said, then it is explained also a lot. That is all Anubhyakhyanani. For example, the Avidya Sutra is first given in 1.4.10. Then 1.4.11 to 15, it's all explanation about that only, correct? How those who are in ignorance, what all they do, how they do karma, how they propagate this entire karma, etc. It talks about. That is all Anubhyakhyanani. Then Vyakhyanani means again explanation for the shloka. If you remember, we did the Saptanna Brahmanam. In the Saptanna Brahmanam, initially the Upanishad itself gave some shlokas and then it itself gave the meaning. Similarly, if you go back, I don't know how many of you are attending from that time now. If you go back to the third Brahmanam in the first chapter, that is where this Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritangamaya, that comes, correct? Now these are also shlokas really, these are all mantras. And then what is the meaning of Asatoma Sadgamaya is also given immediately there. That is all called Vyakhyanani. It's all explanation, description. Like this 8 portions of the Brahmana only is talked about here. So all the 4 types of mantras and 8 types of Brahmana Vakyas, all of them, what? Vyakhyanani, Asya Eva Etani, Nishvasitani. All these things have just come out like the breath of this Mahabhuta, this Paramatma, Brahman. So that is the teaching. That means here the Srishti is being talked about. And even before Srishti, all these things were there potentially. And during the Srishti, all of them have manifest. So the Srishti Karanam also is Brahman alone. Previously we saw Sthiti Karanam. Now Srishti Karanam. Now let us see some Bhashya is there here. We'll quickly see that. Evam Utpatti Kale Prag Utpattehe Brahmaiva iti Shakyam Avagantum. So in this manner, like how the analogies were given to understand that during Sthiti Kala, everything is Brahman alone, like that we can understand. Similarly, during creation also, or even before creation, everything is Brahman alone, that also we can understand. How like this. Yatha Agnehe Vispulinga Duma Angara Chisham Prag Vibhagat Agnihi Eva iti Bhavati Agni Ekatvam. So before they manifest, whether it is a spark or a smoke or Angara. Angara means, I told you, it is like that coal, charcoal and embers, fire. Archish means flames. All these different types of fire are there only as fire, correct? Before they manifest, they are all there potentially in the firewood. So they are all fire only really, before they differently manifest. Okay. So they all can be called as fire. Similarly, evam Jagat Nama Rupa Vikritam Pragutpattehe. So Jagat also was there without any Nama Rupa, any names and forms. All these names and forms were there potentially, even before Srishti, and all of them were in what form? They were all Prajnana Ghana Eva iti Yuktam Grahitum. So it is proper to understand that all that you are seeing here before its manifestation was there only as this Chaitanyam, this homogeneous consciousness, Prajnana Ghana Eva. That is the singularity. Okay, that is the proper way of understanding this. In this manner, we can understand that. Iti etad uchyate. So to understand this only, it is being said. What is said here? That whatever is said here in this 10th Vakya, Sa yatha Ardraidagnehe. Ardraidagnehe is one samasa, one compound word. So what is that? Ardraihi, Edhobihi, Addaha Agnihi, Ardraidagnihi, Tasmat. Tasmat is the fifth case. Then it becomes Ardraidagnehe. So from wet, Ardra means wet, wet fuel or firewood, Edaha, Edhabihi. From the wet fuel, whatever fire is kindled, that is the Ardraidagnihi, and then from that Ardraidagnihi, Tasmat, Abhyahitat, Pritak Dhumaha. So separately, okay, so you have kindled this fire nicely from the wet wood, and from that what comes? Different types of smoke, etc. are coming. Okay. Now, Pritak Dhumaha means, Bhashyakara further says, Pritak Nana Prakaram. Pritak means various types, he says. Dhuma Grahanam, Vispulungadi Prajarshanartham. And Dhuma itself is a Upalakshana only. Although smoke alone, different types of smoke, like that it is saying Upanishad. Here we have to also consider all this spark, etc. Like I told you, spark, embers, flames, etc. All of them also have to be understood. Okay, it is to show other things also. That is why Pritak Dhumaha, like that. Dhumaha itself is plural. So Dhuma Vispulinga Dayaha Vinischaranti means they all come out. They all issue forth from this wet fuel once you burn it. The smoke, the spark, etc. So Vinischaranti means Vinirgachanti, they all come out, issue forth. Evam, in this manner, Yatha Ayam Drishtantaha. So in this manner means that is the now the analogy or the Drishtanta or the example. In the same manner, what? Are Maitreyi. So Are is there here. Are, hey Maitreyi, my dear Maitreyi. Asya Mahataha Bhutasya. Asya Paramatmanaha Prakritasya Mahataha Bhutasya. So Paramatmanaha Prakritasya means the one who is under discussion, correct? Because all that is there here, all that is here is only Atma. That is the teaching. So here the discussion is about that Atma or Paramatma only. And from that Atma alone, who is Mahataha Bhutaha, okay, who is the great being, and that being's breath, Vishwasitam Yetat. So all that is here is nothing but the breath of this great being. Okay. That to Nishvasitam, Iva Nishvasitam, he is saying, Bhashyakara, why he is putting this Iva here? He could have just proceeded, but see how alert Bhashyakara is, because Brahman cannot do any activity in reality. Understand that. So even this Asya Nishvasitam also, Bhashyakara introduces one Iva there, as though breathing. Okay, it is breathing also is only an analogy or an example here, but even that Iva he adds to make sure that somebody cannot come and say, no, no, your Brahman is now doing action. That means it has become whatever limited, etc. How can you say it is Nishkriyam? So, Nishvasitam Iva, Nishvasitam Yatha Aprayatnenaiva Purusha Nishvasaha Bhavati. Okay, so what is this Nishvasita pointing out? He says, like even for people or any person, breathing is effortless, correct? Aprayatnena, without any prayatna or effort, breathing happens. You are not even aware of it most of the time. Similarly, evam vai are. So similarly, all these things, the Srishti itself is effortless. Okay, whatever Srishti has come out, whatever Srishti has happened, there is no effort from our conscious effort is not there. Therefore, also you can say it is Nishvasitam Eva. Correct. The Nishvasitam itself is pointing out that there is no conscious effort from the Paramatma. Therefore, there is no karma or anything. Understand that. So, kim tan nishvasitam iva tataha jatam iti uchyate. So, what has come out as though the breath of this Paramatma? Means that list is there. Correct, the whole list. No, Bhashyakara is quoting already. Here, Rigvedaha, Yajurvedaha, Samavedaha, Atharvangirasaha, Chaturvidham, Mantra Jatam. So 4 types of mantra. So these 4, Rigvedaha, Yajurvedaha and all are the Samhita portion of those particular Vedas, are 4 types of mantra ceases. So Chaturvidham, Mantra Jatam. Then the other 8 more terms are there here. Right? So he says all of them are different parts of this Brahmana of the Veda. So Veda itself is normally divided into Samhita and Brahmana. Like that, a categorization can be done. So these other things are all nothing but, up to this Vyakhyanani, they are all really the Brahmana portion of the Veda itself. So Itihasaha iti Urvashi Pururavasaha Samvadadihi. So Itihasa means any story which the Veda itself is saying. Like even the story of Urvashi and Pururavas, which is there in the Shatapatha Brahmanam itself. So Urvashiha, Apsaraha, like that it is there. Shatapatha Brahmanam 11.5.1.1 it starts. Ityadi Brahmanam eva. So he says Itihasa here, don't think it is Ramayana, Mahabharata. Those are all, I told you, they are all Paurusheya. Here Apaurusheya Shrishti of the Itihasa is being talked about. And therefore it is all the Veda, the Brahmana portion of the Veda alone, whatever stories are there like Urvasi and Pururavas, they are all the Itihasas. Then Puranam, again it is not Ashtadasha Purana, I told you. So Asadva idamagre asit, correct? Asadva idamagra asit, tato vai sadajayata. These are Taittiriya Upanishad where Srishti is being talked about, Ityadi. Because Srishti happened long time back, I told you. Then Vidya, Deva Jana Vidya, Vedaha, Soyam, Ityadyaha. So Vedaha, Soyam also is from Shatapatha Brahmanam only. So this is Veda. This is that Veda like that with reference to Devas. Devas have certain Vidyas, certain Kala, their art and all that. So that is all the Vidya which is talked about in the Veda itself. Okay. Then Upanishadaha. Already we know what is Upanishad. So here Bhashyakara is giving Priyam iti etad upasita. So in 4.1.3 it will come that you do upasana of this Atma as Priyam. But Priyam word itself is a code word. We will see that later. There is a certain meaning for that. Okay, so Upanishad uses lot of, Upanishad means here I am saying general Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Within that there are many Upanishads which are all secret or code words. Like Satyasya Satyam we saw. Correct. So all these code words, secret words are all Upanishads. Then shlokaha, brahmana prabhavaha, mantraha. So whatever mantras which are there in the brahmanas, they are all called shlokaha. So tadete shlokaha, even Brihadaranyaka Upanishad also it is there, but tadapyesha shloko bhavati, like that we see in Taittiriya Upanishad it comes all the time, and then it quotes Vijnanam yajnam tanute and all like that. So they are all whatever mantras quoted in the Brahmana portion, they are all shlokas. Then sutrani, vastu sangraha vakyani, vede yatha atma ityeva upasita ityadini. So vastu sangraha vakyani means what? Whatever this vastu or this Brahman is being talked about, or any subject matter, for example, something which is in a sangraha form means what? Concise. Concisely something is first said in a summarized or concise manner. Those vakyas are all called sutrani, not Brahma Sutra. Again, Atma ityeva upasita is Vidya Sutram. We have studied that. And then Anuvyakyanani, mantra vivaranani, vyakyanani, arthavadaha, अथवा वस्तु संग्रह वाक्य विवरण अनुव्याख्यानानि. So again, two types of meaning Bhashyakara is giving here. Anuvyakyanani means you can take it as the description for all the mantras which the Upanishad itself gives. I told you in the Saptana Brahmana also we saw that. And then Vyakyanani means any other Arthavada, any other stories. Okay, Arthavada means any praise, etc. are called Vyakyanani. Or Athava, otherwise, Anuvyakyanani means Anuvyakyanani are the Vastu Sangraha Vakyani, whatever are there, concise statements. Their explanation is called Anuvyakyanani. Okay. And then this will be Mantra Vivaranani. Vyakyanani will become Mantra Vivaranani. Like that also you can take. But these 8 things, Itihasa, Purana, Vidya, Upanishadaha, Shlokaha, Sutrani, Anuvyakyanani, Vyakyanani, all of them are different portions of the Brahmana. Together, all these 12 things, starting from Rigvedaha, all these Vedas came out of this great being. Okay. Means like I told you, with the Veda, all the Shabdas, all the words came, and along with the words, all the Artha, the meaning also has to be there. So, Yatha Chaturthadhyaye, now he is giving some example also for Anuvyakyanani. Omityeva iti upasita ityasya yatha anyaha asau anyaha ahamasmi iti nasa veda yatha pashureva ayam pashuhu evam. So in the 4th chapter, means it is actually the 2nd chapter, Atma ityeva, 4th adhyaya he says. Means it is sometimes the numbering what Bhashyakara gives, I think he gives from the Shatapatha Brahmana itself. Anyway, so the 147 is Omityeva Upasita. Then later on in 1410, the Avidya Sutra is there. Anyaha asau anyaha ahamasmiti nasaveda. So the one who thinks that whatever the Upasya Devata is separate from me, I am separate, the Upasya Devata is separate. Like that he is doing upasana, that person does not know. He is in fact then only like an animal for the devatas. Like this the Upanishad says. After saying this, so this is a concise statement, Avidya Sutra. The same thing is then explained till the end of that particular Brahmana. From 1411 to 1415, it explains how this is happening, how this person, ignorant person, actually becomes the Devanam Pashuhu. Okay. So this Vastu Sangraha Vakya Vivaranani, only is called Anuvyakyanani. Then that 1, 4, 11 to 15 is Anuvyakyanani. Is that clear? Then Mantra Vivaranani Vyakyana. So this is the other way of understanding. Then any mantra like Tadap, Yesha, Shloko, Bhavati, and then it explains. Or even here in Saptana Brahmanam, also it initially quotes the shlokas and then Upanishad itself gives the meaning. Or I told you the Asato va Sadgamaya also it tells and then it gives the meaning itself. All that is called Vyakyanani because it's all Mantra Vivaranani. So Yevam Ashtavidam Brahmanam. So 8 types of Brahmana Vakyas. 4 types of Mantra Vakyas, 8 types of Brahmana Vakyas. All of these things together form the entire corpus of Veda. And all of them have come out of this great Bhuta. So, Yevam Mantra Brahmana Yoho, Eva Grahanam. So, in this manner, these 12, whatever enumerated, 12 words, from them we have to understand all of them are referring to only mantras and brahmanas. Niyata Rachanavataha Vidyamanasya Eva Vedasya Abhivyaktihi Purusha Nishwasavat. So, whatever all these different mantras, brahmanas, okay, they were all already existent in the Veda, correct? But they are again and again created by this great being in every cycle of creation, I told you. But they are all created, whatever is there only is manifested. Niyata Rachanavataha Vidyamanasya eva Bhashakara says. Whatever is there means they are there potentially. That's what. And that is manifested in every cycle of creation. That only we call it as creation is nothing but really manifestation. Nobody can create whatever is not already there. Creation really for us is only manifestation. Destruction is only unmanifestation. So, Vedasya Abhivyaktihi only Bhashakara says finally. Instead of Srishti, now he has silently replaced the word as Abhivyakti means what? Manifesting. Bringing out the Veda which is there potentially, then that is brought out. But there is no effort involved in that. Purusha Nishwasavat, like even breathing for a person, it happens. Nacha Purusha Buddhi Prayatna Purvakaha. So, means why this breathing is talked about, I told you, right? It is not a conscious activity or a conscious effort is not involved in all these things. So there is no Purusha Buddhi Prayatna Purvakaha. Means what? There is no effort, conscious effort, which is there before this manifestation happens. It just happens effortlessly. So therefore what? Ataha Pramanam Nirapeksha Eva Swarte Tasmat Yat Tena Uktam Tat Tathaiva Pratipattavyam Atmanaha Shreyaha Ichadbihi Jnanam Va Karma Veti. So, therefore, what? All these things have come from this Mahataha Bhuta, correct? From Ishvara. Therefore, whatever the way, Bhashakara here also is pointing out that Veda is a pramana, correct? In whatever it is revealing, it does not depend on anything else, correct? So, pramanam nirapeksha eva swarte means what? Without depending on anything else, whatever the Veda reveals, it is a pramana in its own field of revelation. And whatever it says, correct, you have to understand it as it is if you want Shreyas for yourself. Atmanaha Shreyas. If you want the ultimate good, if you are desirous, for those who are desirous of the ultimate good for themselves, they have to understand the Veda as it is. Whatever it is saying, whatever it is revealing, you have to take it. That is valid knowledge. And whatever it is revealing is not dependent on any other pramana or anything. Correct? Pramanam nirapeksha eva swarte. In its own field, in its own subject matter, whatever it is revealing independently and you have to understand it as it is. then only you will get Shreyas. Otherwise, you will be only in this samsara. Veda alone has to show you as asamsari, as the limitless. There is no other pramana which can show that, correct? All the other Laukika pramanas are only revealing the objective world to you. Veda alone can reveal your true nature to yourself. It is the Shastra Darpana, it is like the mirror which is showing your reality to yourself. So therefore, whoever desires Shreyas or Moksha for oneself, you have to understand the Veda as it is, whatever it is revealing. In fact, Bhashyakara says, Jnanam va karma va veti. Means even a karma kandi also has to go by the Veda only. In fact, karma kandi has to have more Shraddha on the Veda, because whatever the Veda reveals in terms of Swarga and even all the karma, how the karma is connected to going to Swarga and all that, that's all completely Paroksha Jnanam only, correct? At least Atma Jnanam is Aparoksha Jnanam. Therefore, in both cases, you have to just understand the Veda as it is and take it as a pramana, because it has come from Ishvara, Shastra Yoni. Ishvara is the Shastra Yoni. Shastrasyapi Yoni. Okay, so we'll stop here. We'll continue next week. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
धन्यवाद जी.
Oh.
Thank you, Guruji.